You just locked in.
I just locked in. locked in and locked down.
Locked in, lockdown, yeah.
And I released a solo album back then. That's on YouTube.
Solo album.
I did do a solo album.
Man, how do I not know about this, bro? Let's look this up right now. Pretty sick. Yo, is this your song?
Jorking Painter.
Dude, yes. Yes.
It's really weird.
How did you find that?
I don't know. It's pretty interesting. We're also silly geese. I don't know if you came to that conclusion yet.
I don't think you did.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Old Music Matters of That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. And today, welcome to a special guest on the east side of PA from Philly. You got the boys from Protagon. How are you doing today?
Hey,
Great.
how's it going, guys?
Great.
Doing pretty good.
I just put a face to the name for the audience, for everyone's sake right there too. We got Brad the Bard. And we got Gideon.
It's me.
And Isaac.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. These are only 3 members of a 5-piece group right here too. So, but they're representing. That's the thing, right? Too. We represent. That's
6%.
Oh yeah. All right. But outside of that, what you boys been up to recently?
Yeah, man. So we just dropped a new single. It's called "Encumbered by the Toil." It's a pretty awesome track. It's been getting a lot of really good feedback. We just threw it on our Bandcamp. We're going to be putting it on all streaming platforms pretty soon as well. I always like to put stuff on Bandcamp, and I recommend any other bands do that as well because it's it's the way it's probably the best way to get like your biggest fans and like biggest supporters to like give you a monetary support right off the rip with a release. And you know, like the EP's been out, like you mentioned, since like 2023. And if I look at my streaming stuff, I haven't been trying to promote it on Spotify and all those things, but you need like $25 worth of stuff to even cash it out, and we're not even at that point. But we just dropped "Encumbered by the Toil" right now, and it's already like far exceeding that, and we only charge $1 for that on Bandcamp. So, just a pro tip for you guys out there.
We're gonna put the P in pro, that all sorts of things.
Yeah, there we go.
Protagon tip, bro. Be a protagonist, baby.
A prototype.
Yep.
And I guess, have you guys always lived in Philly your whole lives? Or I guess have you jumped around a little bit?
No, absolutely not. So, I mean, we could talk a little bit about the history of the band and like how all the members met each other. If we want to talk geographically, I think it would be a kind of cool way to do that. So, I'm the front man. I'm actually originally from the Reading area, Reading, PA, which is like an hour northwest of Philadelphia, where we currently are sitting right now.
Yeah, further north, yeah.
Yep. And then that's actually where I met Gideon, and we were in like a Celtic Americana like duo called Blight of the Bards for the longest time. Then Protagon came, far after that, and I was looking for a lead guitarist, and that's when Isaac came into the picture. And I remember we were at jiu-jitsu practice. That's actually where I met Isaac, and we were doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I remember like my coach, he said something to the effect of, yo, like I'm trying to choke Isaac. And he's like, and I'm going easy on Isaac. I'm like, I'm not, this is a new guy. I'm not gonna grease him up too much. And then my coach goes, Brad, he said he's better at guitar than you. And I'm like, what? So I'm trying to choke Isaac. I'm like, you know what, man? Bring your guitar next jiu-jitsu class, and we'll jam after class, and we'll see who's the better guitarist. And then we found out it's Isaac. And now he's in the band.
My neck still hurts from that choke, by the way.
Deserved it.
There's always like we do WWE action before you know it right there too. Brad just gets the chair. It's just like, bam.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, he doesn't break kayfabe at all.
No, man. I just let it go.
And Austin's from what? Not Schnecksville.
He's living
Burnville,
further up north,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite Pennsylvania yet, but it's like so our drummer Austin is in Burnville. We actually stole him from a band called 1,000 Reasons, which we're friends with. But we Austin's a better fit for us, so we took him over for that. And then I don't know if we want to talk about the Protagon curse.
Yeah, bass players has been our struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but we're with current bass player Preston, who's just a swell cat.
Good guy.
Yep.
Good guy.
Great bass player.
Where's he
Great guy.
from? Is he Reading too?
He's Reading based
Somewhere.
area, but I think
In the
yeah,
area.
more like Kutztown area, something like that. Again, kind of the same as Austin,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I was saying, is it supposed to be Punxsutawney or something, or is there actually a place?
Yeah.
Punxsutawney might be a place.
It is.
I'm actually
It
the
is.
import. I'm the import in the band. As odd as that is, I'm not from Pennsylvania. I'm from New Mexico originally, years and years ago. Yeah. So, but I also live in the Reading area.
Well,
Yeah.
hey. I'm also not from here.
Oh,
No.
really?
I had a journey. So I'm born in Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Oh, I
And
didn't
then-
know that.
This was a whole thing of like, went to New York, went to New Jersey, and then we went to Massachusetts, and then we went to California, and then we went to Lancaster.
Oh, you did have a.
And then after Lancaster was Utah, and then Utah, now to the Allentown area.
Okay.
WEPA certified.
WEPA certified. I got my stamp.
It'd be like, he been everywhere, man. So
Pretty much, yeah.
It's fun.
I was giving a shout out to Puerto Rico there too, because there's a friend of mine down there that I've interviewed a while back, part of a band called Engulfed in Hate. Felipe was his name. So still going strong too.
Dale,
So-
Felipe.
Viva la Puerto Rico, or is that more of Mexico? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
you know,
Viva la raza.
I love the
that's
spirit. I love the spirit.
Yeah,
I've been trying to be
we're
nice
going
too.
through some real rough corruption stuff right now too. Not that we should delve on that too much, but I know we're pretty. I don't know if we're a political band per se, but we're certainly we like to call out bullshit band. And there's definitely a lot of corruption in PR right now.
And
I'm
bullshit
also
is
Puerto
not
Rican, but I'm
political.
not from there. True.
You Reading based? Like actually,
Well, I'm Philly based now.
well, I don't mean that. I mean
Take
like
a look at that.
originally.
I
like,
guess, yeah.
Reading area,
I'm
yeah.
from Reading, yeah.
So the true Reading
Born
guy.
and raised, yeah.
So I guess does that mean Gideon's like the only Irish guy in the group here? So,
Gideon's the most Hispanic guy in the band somehow, actually.
yeah, fair. Like
Nah.
born in Spanish territory. I'm bilingual. I speak Spanish. My wife is Peruvian. Yeah, so yeah. I guess you can say that, Brad.
True.
so there's like some of the history there with the band.
Sure, man.
But I guess what was really the motivation to kind of start just this group, Protagon, if I'm saying it right?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, Protagon.
Protagon,
just like
yeah,
protagonist
Protagon.
without the ist. It's usually how I tell people. But yeah, man. So this is like my passion project kind of manifest into a real band. I kind of started with like, well, I finally have 3 songs, which are, the EP, The Gathering Storm, Rain Keeps Dripping, Torment of Mind, and Week Like in a Nightmare, where I was like, you know what? I've been playing music for, most of my life at this point, and I'm finally ready to release music. I've been a performing musician forever before that, but I was always like hesitant to put anything out because I'm a perfectionist, and I was finally to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm ready to put this out. So I got in the studio, and anyone who's a fan of ours knows, like, there's no whistle on the EP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're working on changing that. Don't worry. But if you see that live, you get to hear Gideon, of course, rip on those tracks. But originally, I just kind of like was doing like an acoustic guitar thing with a little bit of electric guitar on the leads and the solos and stuff, with a little bit of distorted vocals. And then my friend Nick from Scarlet Moon started putting a festival together called Mansion Mayhem at the Yingling Mansion, which is in
Pottsville.
It's Grove. Is it Ville?
Well,
I think it's
Pottsville is
Yeah, Pottsville, PA.
Pennsylvania.
Pottsville.
All right, it was in Pennsylvania. All right, yeah. So we were so he was like, yeah, man, like you should play like with us. And I was like, shit, dude, I don't even have a band. I have me with all this stuff. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'll assemble a band to play the show because I really would love to promote this and like launch it the week of the show and like make it a big thing. So I tapped Isaac to do guitar. I actually used to be in Scarlet Moon. So I used the drummer. and I had Nick do some vocal stuff live with us as well, and he's on the album. But Ryder from Scarlet Moon did the drumming for that initial show, and then our first bass player Chris did the performance there. Now we're a few bass players in, and we're on Preston now. It's just crazy. We've been through so many different iterations of the band. Gideon, when did you join? I don't even if you put a gun in my head, I'm like, when did Gideon join? Month and year. I'd be like, just shoot me. I don't even remember.
Yeah, as mentioned earlier, Brad and I were in a project pre-COVID called Light of the Bards. So we have pretty deep lore, if you will, going back on that. But I'd say it was like probably maybe 2.5 years ago. Actually, the bass player Chris at the time, he's like, I was seeing him out at open mics, and he said, "Hey, you should come, check out, play with us at this, the show, play with my band." And it's, oh, Brad, I'm like, yeah, I know Brad. We were in a band together. So I went and, linked up with those guys, and they were playing a lot of the stuff that Brad and I had already played, but in this, now rather than like just a duo, we were a full band. And, we had Jordan. Jordan was the drummer.
Oh yeah, so this was like Nitro Bar.
Yeah, Nitro Bar. Yeah,
man, we're gonna have to talk about that place. That place shut down. Do your own research, anyway.
No, I had nothing to do with it. So yeah.
But yeah, that was no, we didn't have anything to do with it.
No,
but
man, it's not like you were. It's not like you're being guilty here, man.
Yeah,
so.
No. Someone's guilty. Definitely isn't us. But yeah, that was an interesting arc. Yeah, how many drummers? That's so many drummers too.
Wasn't it 3?
Well, it'd be 3
I guess,
drummers.
right? Jordan.
Shortly after
Ryder.
that, when we picked up Austin.
I think you're right. It was only 3.
Yeah.
Jordan took I think he moved out California or something like that. Yeah.
LA.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Something fun.
Yeah, so that's when we started looking for a drummer and found Austin. We do a lot of
Austin broke up with ATR, right? Basically, as we needed a drummer, so it was just like very serendipitous timing.
We do a lot of kind of odd time signature stuff. Yeah, so Austin works pretty well with that. So that's good.
Yeah, but what was the question? I completely blanked. What's the inspiration of the project? I guess, but yeah, man, it's
motivation. But
yeah, it's just basically like. This project is like an amalgamation of different ideas that I do. Like something that you don't see on like the social media so much that you do get to see at the live shows is like I have like quests that I have people do, and I just try to make our shows as interactive as possible and silly and fun. So as like a prog rock, like Celtic folk metal band, whatever genre you want to throw on whatever song we're doing at the time, you get to see different elements of that, and even the artwork and stuff like that we have. The bulk of it is like my brainchild, but of course I give these guys a ton of creative freedom in the band as well, because they're all, extremely talented musicians in their own right. So I only that's one of the things Isaac is an issue to replace, because he's like a 12-year-old prodigy over here.
Dude,
12.
Yeah, I just turned 13 the other day.
Yeah,
You're right.
No disrespect. But it's just crazy. Trying to find a replacement for Isaac is just a tall task. And I remember we were discussing it the other day, and I'm like, well, the bar mainly needs to be a better guitarist than me, and then they need to be reliable, and then that's not a person except Isaac. So,
context being is that I'm going to school in Baltimore, and so for 9 months out of the year, I am not in the area, and I'm also a professional musician, and so I'll take gigs, and so I have to rely on these gigs for my money. So sometimes some of these Protagon gigs don't pay as well as some of the gigs I would take, and so just for that, I can't always be there for Protagon, so I'm not as reliable as you say.
Yeah, but you're there when it counts.
Yeah, actually, this guy just came from a gig. That's
that's why he's dressed like a fucking mariachi band guy.
Dude, hey. Salsero. Get it right.
Yeah.
Playing congas, bro.
You were not playing congas.
I was playing congas. I could show you a video after, dog.
Bro, I want to see it. Bro, show Brian right now. Put him bongos up right now.
I can't. That's those are bongos, bro. That's different.
Damn.
I could play the djembe, but not the bongos.
You were slapping that djembe pretty nice earlier. But yeah, derail this. We will do it, bro.
It's easy.
So like, yeah, we're definitely falling off the proverbial deep end here, to say the least. So
true. That's
actually. I was gonna say definitely like the Bob Marley, so look right there too. So I was like, it's supposed to be a metal band, right? So
yeah.
We're a silly band.
This is really metal looking, right? Yeah.
Oh, you know how it is.
True.
I mean, I know El Nino had like little bongos and that sort of stuff, and there's certain music there too. So I think we can make it work. It's like the next metal thing we got right there is bongos. So
Nice, yeah.
True.
All right.
Been saying we have a Spanish song.
Oh yeah, me and Isaac are working on some
Spanish stuff.
Yeah, not really Spanish. Honestly, I don't know why Sphinx came to mind. we're working on some like seriously epic stuff that's like not going to get released for a while, probably till Isaac graduates.
Yeah.
Yeah, his magnum opus. We're building it. We're building
this genre right now.
All right. I guess before we jump into some of the songs, because I know Brad kind of brought up here a little bit too, I kind of like to know about you guys in general first before we got to this point here too. So I guess who wants to go first in terms of your backstory of how you got to this point and how you became musicians? Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll start.
I'll tie it all together.
This guy.
I'm the guy I'm the oldest guy in the band. I'm not from this area. I was originally from Southwest, but I started music actually. I learned how to play. My first instrument was the panpipe, and I was on a trip down to Latin America. I spent 6 months living in Ecuador and picked up music down there, and then from there went out of panpipe into the traditional like South American flute. It's called a cana. Yeah, but obviously I look more Irish, so everybody always says, hey, you're Irish, you like Irish music, all that kind of stuff. And so I listened to that along with, whatever other, traditional or more typical, rock or alt rock, that kind of thing. And, so eventually I kind of transitioned out of the panpipe and the cana into the Irish penny whistle, which is what I play. And my music career prior to really Blight of the Bards was just open mics, which is how I ended up meeting Brad. We were longtime open mic circuit guys, and I would typically just jam with or play on whatever anybody was playing. A lot of times I didn't even know what I'm playing before I stand up, and it's just kind of what's that the medical philosophy, like above all else do no harm. If you can play, try to play. Like if it seems like it's not fitting in or whatever, like just drop out. It was kind of so I did that for a number of years, just doing open mics. Kind of linked up with Brad while we were doing open mics. We often jammed together. We often would play, perform at the open mic. It was a place called the Speckled Hen in Reading, and it's the place is worth kind of like briefly describing. It's like
we have a song titled "The Speckled Hen." It's not released. You'll hear it live.
Yeah.
But,
It's a log cabin. Like you're in downtown Reading, and so Reading's a city. It's not a terribly big city, but it's definitely a city. You've got sky, like tall buildings and kind of urban type architecture. And right in the middle, there's this little tiny, like literally centuries old log cabin. It looks like it, was running playing hide and seek and got lost and just like stayed there. And so this super old building, super cool vibes. And this place had this weekly open mic, and that's where we met. And so we would often play together, and that kind of eventually morphed into the Blight of the Bards project that we've mentioned earlier. That it was like leading up, I think it was 2018, and it was St. Patty's Day. The Speckled Hen needed Irish or Irishy themed, band, and they asked us if we wanted to just play. So Brad and I took the challenge on with like a month to come up with, three I think it was 3 hours of material.
Yeah. Wow.
And so I think it was like for that month, we basically like every single day we were getting together and, running through songs to be prepared, so some covers
and hitting different open mics in town to like get our stage presence tight.
Yeah. And then we were Blight of the Bards and did that until basically COVID. We had always talked about, trying to bring a drummer in and, trying to like build the band into essentially what Protagon has become. But we never got there. COVID, came and kind of killed that for us.
Yeah, I remember that conversation we had when the gig got canceled. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And then Gideon's like, no, this is like a serious it's sweeping through the planet right now. And I'm like, man, it ain't gonna affect the St. Patty's Day. Come on, man, bro. Why did you cancel this show? So I just got super bummed out. And then go ahead, finish.
And then I took a brief hiatus from really playing music in any formal capacity or even like open mics through COVID. And then, after COVID, get back up into the open mics. And that's where, ran into Chris and the rest is history, started playing with Protagon. I also play in another band, like an actual traditional Irish band called the Get Reels. Sometimes we'll play gigs together around St. Patty's Day, where there's a real traditional Irish band with, people playing fiddles and, upright bass, that kind of thing. And then, we'll, maybe play the traditional Irish stuff and then, morph into Protagon, kind of as the night goes, gets old. So that's kind of my story musically. I didn't come at music I think people think about you take music classes when you're young in school. I did not do that at all. I pretty much I don't read music. I play by ear. I pretty much taught myself, playing with put a CD on and let me just play with the CD. And I know like Davey Spillane, that's one of the early, like, cause he's playing the same kind of, instrument that I'm playing, kind of a legend in the Celtic music space. And, just trying to play along with it and pick up, how's the inflection go, whatever. So that's where I came from. And then, playing by ear in that manner kind of puts you into a space that you can go and join in on things that people are playing at open mics, that kind of stuff. And I don't know, you want to?
I'll let Isaac go next, and I'll tie it all together.
Well, shoot. Well, as I said earlier, I was moving around the country a lot. So
when did you get your first guitar?
My first guitar? That was in Utah. I was 11. And it was because I was grounded. I did some badass little kid stuff. I had no video games for a year.
No video games
for a year, dog. It was
what did you
ferocious,
do?
dude.
No wonder you suck at Smash, bro.
Dog, we're not gonna get to what I did.
Let's just say threw the pizza on top of the house or something like that.
Dude, that pizza was gone. Anyways, 3 months into the year grounding, my mom, she was just like, "You have nothing to do," and I'm like, "Facts." And she's like, "Do you want to play drums or guitar?" And I was just like, "I want to play guitar because there's at the house we were at, there's just no space for drums, and it would have been obnoxious, and I didn't want to have to like travel to go practice my instrument." And so my dad, like a couple of days later, we went to a store in Salt Lake City, and we got this $100 classical guitar, and I was playing like some country artists. I had the guitar flat on my lap, and I was playing with my thumb only. Thumb, both fingers. I only two fingers, and that's how I started playing guitar, which is two fingers plugging away, Smoke on the Water, and Seven Nation Army. I was radical at those 2 songs. And so some time goes by and I start my music lessons. Yeah, and then the rest is history. I started with this guy named Joe Dean. He's actually British in Utah.
Oh,
I don't
fancy that. All right.
I don't get why he was there. But he taught me a lot. He showed me my first like actual metal band that wasn't, like the stuff my parents were putting me on, because they were putting me on to like Guns N' Roses and like a little bit of like the Black Album, Metallica, where they just like softened out a little bit. And so he put me on to Chiodos, this hardcore band, and I was just like, what is this? And he's like, I could show you the entire album. And so he and we set out to learn the entire album, which we never finished because then I moved away. Which is, you could see as tragic. And then from there, I was starting getting into jazz. And so Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold was one of my biggest inspirations when I was like 13, 14. And I remembered one of the things he said was that he loved Django. And Django was one of his biggest influences. Yeah. Which, funnily
enough,
enough,
other band we talk about, and occasionally do some Django tunes. That's with the Get Reels.
Oh, they're so pretty.
Django's cool.
Django's the go. And so, like, I started playing jazz, which was funny because I when I came here, I auditioned for a music high school. It was not like High School Musical, which I don't think. Do you guys know about High School Musical?
We know about High School Musical, bro.
Okay, my bad. See, they're old sometimes, so I gotta check.
Fucking Zoom.
I think every school has to at least have some sort of musical that happens there, to be honest, whether it's be like Wicked or something. So yeah.
But I get to this school, and then I have a teacher, Mike Lorenz. Shout out, Mike Lorenz, the GOAT. And he puts me down and he says to me, he's like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, I would love to do jazz because my biggest hero loves jazz. He's like, who's your biggest hero? And I'm like, this metal guy. And he's like, oh Lord, we have a lot to teach you. And so basically since my freshman year of high school, I've been just learning a lot of jazz. And funnily enough, I went to college for music as well. Or I'm going to college, didn't win, it's going. And
ongoing thing.
It is an ongoing thing. And I'm in Baltimore now, studying jazz at the Peabody Conservatory, which is a school connected to Johns Hopkins. And that, I think, should be everything for me.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. I like the way that you described your influences like on the way up through your whole thing. But yeah, man. So I don't know. I feel like I want to touch on like what Gideon was saying in the COVID era, right? So when COVID hit, I ended up losing my job. And Encumbered by the Toil is kind of about stuff like that too, if you listen to the lyrics. But
they took your job.
Yeah. Shout out. But I ended up living in a school bus that I converted into a motorhome for for basically the entirety of COVID. That's what I did with my whatever, my COVID money that they were giving away. And I traveled around. I ended up writing that song Week Like in a Nightmare. If you listen to the album version, at the very end, you hear like there's some banter going on. That's me and my original leg lock coach in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who actually died. So that song's dedicated to him. And I wrote that song in my school bus when I was visiting some guys in New York, because that's kind of what I was doing. I was traveling around. I had my own podcast at that time, and I had a podcast studio in the bus. So I was interviewing people on the bus about, their jiu-jitsu, or I had musicians on. I had all kinds of people on, but it was pretty tightly centered around martial arts. And I remember having some guys from New York. I went to Syracuse, and they're like, yo, we're going to do a Grappling Industries tournament this weekend. Are you in or are you in? And I'm like, shit, man, I guess I'm in. So, because we were training together that whole week and just kind of like, I just had like a little arc with them. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do the day I decided to do that, which was like, I think it was either a day or 2 days. Like it was a night or 2 nights before the tournament was like the next day. And I remember, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to grab my guitar and I'm going to channel this energy that I have, this nervous, not on weight, like not really ready for this competition energy. And I'm just going to turn it, channel it into this song. And I remember I ate like fried shrimp. I had like a Monster Energy that morning. I got trashed at tournament, dude. But Week Like in a Nightmare is a banger. That's honestly like, I think it's our most played song on the streaming platforms, which is not what I expected. I thought Rain Keeps Dripping was going to be that. But yeah, so that was that arc. I actually believe I had this guitar during that time, which is a whole other thing. Every one of these guitars has a tail, one more interesting than the next. But yeah, so then Protagon comes into the fold, and then so essentially like I took a lot of the creative energy that I had in that time, and I'm like, you know what, I want to make music and I want to do weird creative stuff. Like having all those challenges and things at our shows is kind of a direct reflection of the like the hacker world that I'm also involved in, right? So I go to DEF CON every year. I was just in DEF CON. This badge right here I got in DEF CON. And I just got my artist badge because my music was used in a CTF Capture the Flag challenge, which is really interesting. And I won't go too deep into that unless you really want to know. But in the hacker world, they have like scavenger hunts and like capture the flag events where you have to like hack your way through these challenges and things like this, right?
Austin calls this the Brad's nerd stuff.
This is my nerd stuff, right?
Brad's nerd stuff.
So Protagon,
drummer.
So Protagon as a project has a ton of different like weird, wacky, shenanigans all throughout, the entire creative spectrum on our social media, our live shows, and the music that you get to hear from us. And it's just, even the martial arts stuff. Like I remember, I remember like kind of the idea that we ended up like doing something recently where we had the opportunity to do like some like EDM kind of music at like a jiu-jitsu event. And like I've been talking to Isaac about like a dream that I have is to perform our music for like an MMA event or like a jiu-jitsu like thing or like a sparring smoker or something like that. So that's gonna happen. I'm gonna figure out how to make that happen. I have a really weird brain, and I just like I love the experimental part of like how do I connect these two tributaries that are in two different time zones? You know what I mean? For lack of better terminology. But yeah, that's Protagon, baby.
It's definitely a lot to take in there too. But since you guys did mention, actually, since you mentioned about COVID a couple times here too, I guess how bad was COVID for you guys on a personal and family level? Was everyone okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with that. And we can kind of go back down the line. But like, obviously, like I lost my job, and it kind of like completely like upseated my life, and I had this opportunity to kind of move into like this experimental, like I've always wanted I really liked the idea of like the bus life and the van life stuff that people were doing, because it's like for me, the way I looked at it is like, this is a great, like, this is a great challenge for the attributes of resourcefulness, engineering, just like quick-wittedness and just like your ability to quickly adapt. So I was like a mechanic in the Army, and I just had like a ton of skills that I don't know, the military's
That's a whole different.
I'm not gonna go into it. That's just not gonna, bro. But you know what, America's a great place to live. I like having guns. I'll end it there. Like every other country that doesn't have free speech and guns, rough. Anyway, but yeah, so back to like COVID affecting my life. Like, so it was just this cool and like, big challenge. I always wanted to travel, and like it was this unique opportunity for me to try to really go in on all these ideas. So that's why, I did all of that. And then how it, resulted is I ended up meeting a lady who I'm no longer with. Tragic. We kind of settled down, and then I moved to Philly. But COVID for me, honestly, it was a roller coaster, but I like roller coasters.
Yeah. So for me, COVID changed a lot of things in the way that I lived my life. Obviously, you're not going out, you're not doing open mics, all of that kind of thing.
Oh, bro, and the underground jiu-jitsu open mats, I can't even get to it, bro. COVID was wild.
Yeah. So it changed a lot of things, but thankfully for me, it was pretty okay. I had a period of time where I wasn't working. I was laid off effectively for a little while, but went back with my same employer when I was done, and thankfully for the most part my family was okay. People there were some very extended family members that you'd hear about that they might have had some trouble. We all of course had it. You got COVID, got over it, but thankfully in my case I didn't really have any losses or anything like that.
And for me,
you would have been in school or something, right?
Dog.
For me, in high school,
COVID was my freshman year.
Damn, dude.
I got into my first half
Young
of
boy
freshman
over
year
here.
Was in person, and then March 13th or 19th? It was some day.
It would have been right around there. Yeah, sure.
I say March 15th. So it was a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday. It was right before spring break. That's when just everything started. And initially my reaction was like, oh, bet the longest spring break. This is going to be like 2 weeks and we're done. And then when it kept getting extended and it got extended and, the school wasn't saying anything. And so I went to my parents. I'm like, what's happening? And my dad was just like, yeah, you're going to be in here for a little bit. And so I really took the time just to songwrite. It was basically like 7-8 months of just writing songs, and you
just locked in.
I just locked in, locked in and locked down.
Lockdown, yeah.
And I released a solo album back then. That's on YouTube.
Solo album.
I did do a solo album.
Man, how do I not know about this, bro? Let's look this up right now.
I don't like to promote it just because
Is it ass?
It's dog. It's dog shit.
It's better than mine.
It was the representation of my skills during COVID.
What was it called allegedly? Hypothetically,
7 days in.
7 days in.
By who?
By it should just appear under Isaac Felix.
Okay.
Oh man.
So
the things you learn.
Things you learn about me. And so during then it was really just a lot of songwriting, and I was also, you see me, I'm a chunky boy. And so during then my mom was like, do you want my mom
big belly
woman big chungus over there. My mom, she was like, do you want to do wrestling or do you want to do kickboxing? She offers me a lot of choices in my life. And I was just like, I would love to do some kickboxing, because around then I started getting into UFC, specifically watching UFC events. And I was just like, dude, this is awesome. And I had just seen Gilbert Burns beat Tyron Woodley. And I was just like, amazing. And so I went to the local title boxing, and I just started kickboxing there, even though, we had the restrictions of like, you need to be like 8 feet away from each other, because, sweat was just spewing from everybody. It was, I don't know how much we followed protocols back then during the title boxing, but it was just a lot of boxing and kickboxing. We were just hitting the heavy bag, and then I started getting private lessons from there, and I developed a deep love for martial arts. That is me, by the way. And from that, I met a lot of martial artists from the Allentown and Lehigh Valley area, and we would do like sparring Sundays, and it was just just a lot of 20-year-old and me at the time, like 16 to 20-year-old dudes just duking it out in the middle of a title boxing on a Sunday. And so that it was basically my entire COVID experience was just like, for me, cool as shit, because it was just kickboxing and guitar. And then I'd hang out with friends every couple months, but that wasn't my goal. It was just like get better at guitar and get better at kickboxing.
Pretty sick. Yeah, is this your song?
Jorking Painter.
Dude, yes. Yes.
It's really weird.
How did you find that?
I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, so Isaac's got a pretty sick album on YouTube. You guys should check it out.
I was gonna say that just started off so wrong there, man. So it's almost like this should almost be like a Tenacious D sort of moment right here too, with Isaac's sort of background.
We're also silly geese. I don't know if you came to that conclusion yet.
I don't think you did.
Maybe you two are, but I don't know what to throw Gideon and Trish say a crazy Hispanic Irish geese or something.
Yeah. He's something else.
All right. But on a serious note, it is good to see you and the families are doing well here too. And good to have you guys along here for the ride as well. So I do have one more question still kind of pertaining to COVID in a way, but more so after they got the lockdowns up and everything. So that's why I delves more to the music scene, because when I brought it up in my other interviews, they would also bring up a good amount of covering tribute bands coming out of the woodworks and kind of going into the venues and playing all the shows and everything. So from your perspective, how's the music scene been in around Philly and even the other parts of Eastern PA there with Reading and Allentown?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you want to give us a specific time frame, like in the last few months or like in our history?
Do the last 3 years from 22, 4 years, I should say, 22 to 26.
I would say that at least like the Reading area, COVID hit it pretty bad.
Yeah.
A lot of the venues closed down. A lot of the open mics and things they closed down. The handful of open mics that stuck around, they just became like crazy busy. So there's definitely demand for this space, music, live music, all of that. But for sure, it changed a lot. I do see a slow, like gradual increase. So some of the places that have already closed down, they've now gotten new owners. They're starting to open back up. They're starting to
Speckled Hen.
Yeah, Speckled Hen. That's a good example.
It took them long enough.
They've got some fresh blood in there, and they're starting to open up. They're starting to put there's more open mics, more of that stuff. It's starting to come back a little bit. I would say probably recently it feels a little bit like there's a little bit of a turn down and maybe demand for bands for like over dinner or any of that kind of thing. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting a little bit. So I'm sure like economic pressures, it starts cutting back a little bit. I'm sure. Yeah. Isaac probably feels that directly in his pocket. But it's certainly like it hasn't come back to where it was, before COVID. Before COVID, Brad and I, like Thursday nights, there was the open mic at the Speckled Hen. I think I'm a rock climber. He also rock climbs. We would go rock climb, sometimes together, sometimes not. We'd go, at a gym, up in, in indoor rock climbing in Reading. And then we'd hit up the open mic, Speckled Hen open mic. And then they're
playing guitar with climbing hands is rough, bro.
Yeah, I bet.
And then we'd, there was nightlife even after that. Like we'd oftentimes people would go up, another block or two away. There was a bar that had late night burgers, the Ugly Oyster burgers, one in the, at night, like you've been drinking, exercised. It's played some music. It was
Beer
just
and a crab pretzel.
yeah. It was
Classic.
yeah. It was solid, but like it seems like all the places close earlier now than they used to.
Yeah.
There's definitely been a scaling back, but it feels like it's slowly opening back up a little bit. That's my vibe. That's what I feel.
Yeah, Gideon really did a really good job of summarizing the Berks area. I think there was, like he said, like a lot of venues popped in and out of existence, and like a lot of that stuff is still coming back now. What I've observed in Philly as someone who like only just moved here kind of after COVID started settling down, I can say the scene, my favorite scene that I like to kind of adhere to around Philly is in Northwest Philly in like the Manayunk area. Specifically, the Grape Room is like probably like my first like step into like a venue that I was like, oh, this is my new stomping ground now. But on Wednesdays they have like an open jam. It's an incredible venue. Not because it's like, they have X, Y, and Z amenities that are, pristine, state of the art, better than everywhere else. It's literally the culture of that bar. It's the people that you meet, the creativity. They have like comedy open mics, which I've been trying a little bit as well. Yeah, so Grape ended up closing multiple times since I've lived in Philly, and I've only lived in Philly since 2023, so it's been like
that was our St. Patty's Day show this year, right? Grape Room.
Yeah, we just played our St. Patrick's Day show there, rocked it with Lady White Rat. It was a great show. We murdered.
Yeah, it was
murder, dude. It's great.
That was a great venue.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
But I'll say this about this year. I don't know. I think it's probably mainly, I'm sure there's bureaucratic reasons, but there's also, I think a lot of economic reasons that there's been a lot of closures this year in Philadelphia for venues that we played at specifically. Right, like I'll give you a couple examples, like the Philly Fire. If you want to do some research similar to what happened at the place in Reading, the Reading Motorcycle Club.
Philly Fire is
yep, Philly Fire just had a similar kind of thing happen there. So whoopsie. But that Century Bars down and out now. Grape closed for a significant portion of the summer this year as well. Grape Room's back open, thank God again.
Nice, yeah.
And yeah, man, it's just like what's interesting about Philly is like it's moved so fast. There's a hugely active undercurrent of this city. Everything's always moving so fast in Philly. And that's why like if you sit and you grind and you're just patient after you got to get out there first. Like people that are just bedroom guitars, you're not going to do anything. You got to go out and get some footing somewhere. But when stuff changes there, you can just step back and observe and see where you want to step back onto the elevator or some such like that, right? Like wait for the next stop. The train's going to come and it's going to grab you for your next adventure. Like this year when Grape was closed, like I didn't know what to do. And I, had some issues with like employment recently as well, which is why we put out Encumbered with Toil. And I'm kind of doing a lot of self-employment stuff that we can go into as well. But I've been going to like a lot of these underground raves and stuff. Like I went to a skate park rave the other day, and I'm just kind of looking into the underground culture in Philly, and it's actually very fascinating. These pop-up things, and I'm finding that you can't kill music even during COVID, right? Like it'll find a way. It's like water. It's going to get in between the rocks and it's going to permeate. It's going to find a way. The scene will find a way. Every genre's got a scene, and like certain scenes I'm not really trying to get too involved with just because I don't see like anything with that. But I am enjoying the EDM scene and like observing like one of the things like you can't really see on the camera, but you see a lot of the lighting that we have going on in here. Like if you come to a Protagon show, we got cool lighting. We got cool DJ lighting. It's not just a show, like it's not just a performance. We're actually putting a spectacle together. We try to make it a very we're trying to make it a very interesting, interactive experience. And I feel like what EDM does is a very effective way of kind of allowing for that. So we're trying to do a similar thing with a lot of the stuff we've been doing in our live shows lately. And that was a huge tangent, and I'm sorry that didn't answer the question directly. It kind of beat around the bush before getting to the point.
Actually, I was kind of curious. You're in the Pittsburgh area, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. How's it? What do you see out there in your neck of the woods?
No, we do have a good amount of venues. I don't know too many of the smaller ones, but the big ones like Stage AE, we have Preserve the Underground, which is doing a pretty good job. It was a former church. It's out in the New Kensington area there. Then there's Rock Scene Theater, which hosts a good amount of bands I saw this year. Let's see. Trying to make sure I don't forget any ones. There's the UPMC Event Center. It's out of Moon Township. It's actually right on one of the universities. It's Robert Morris. It's right on the campus there too. That was actually pretty good. So just trying to make sure I'm not missing any with things about. Well, the other one they normally do, but I've never been to, it's the Star Pavilion out in Burgettstown, which seems to take a lot of heat because I guess it's pretty hard to try to get out of there because there's only one way in and one way out.
Oh,
So,
Damn.
Oh man, yeah.
so it's almost like
Load in and load out.
I was almost like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
That's great.
Classic.
Jazz is huge in Pittsburgh, isn't it?
There's multiple genres. I mean, really, I've seen a good amount of metal, rock, all
really?
sorts of stuff. So I say there's a plethora of musicians that play different genres out here. So I wouldn't just say Pittsburgh's a metal town, that whole deal, or anything like that. But
Yeah.
so
I actually bought this guitar from a Pittsburgh-based jazz musician called Alex Price in the band Inner Urge. He one of the drummer in that band is a drummer on the Pittsburgh drum line, like for the Steelers.
Oh, what?
cool.
So it's just like, just interesting lore.
Sick.
Pittsburgh is sick.
I don't know if you guys ever played Dark Souls, but we should put maybe like a little lore about each guitar you have right there too.
All right. Say less. All right.
Keep going.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna tell where this ukulele came from because honestly I don't remember. But I'm gonna tell a story about the most interesting ukulele acquisition I've ever made. And I'm gonna start over. So this ukulele, the story behind this ukulele, I was in Seattle. I was visiting my vocal coach at the time, who had moved there from Sinking Spring, Berks area. And I'm like, yo, let's cut a track. I'll stay for extended weekend. We can cut a track and let's try to line up some shows. So I'm looking at, whatever airline, Delta's thing for bringing a guitar. It's a lot, right? And then American has a thing where you can bring the thing. So I figured out a way to bring my electric guitar, and I was going to I basically like made this haphazard, like insanity way of making like I didn't have to pay much extra to get it on. I think I paid like an extra like $50. I could bring it on as a check thing. And it was like, I basically like sewed in new straps to put my pedal board onto the case. And I remember going there, no problem. Coming back, the guy was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? I'm like, dude, I'm going home. I came with it like that. He's just like, just go. Like, he was so bummed. But when I get to Seattle, I'm like, well, we need an acoustic guitar because we're like, there's no way I'm gonna do it. He's a vocalist. I can sing and play guitar. I'm like, well, I need an acoustic. Yeah. So I go to a guitar store there. We go into it, and I'm like, do you guys rent guitars? And the dude was like, no. So I'm like, well, that sucks. So then I asked him, I'm like, well, how if I buy a guitar, can I bring it back like within 48 hours if I don't like it? And he said yes. So I hit it with the old rent it at Walmart technique. Yeah. But here's the thing. They had a special going on where if you buy a guitar, you get a ukulele free.
This almost sounds like this is like a different version of like a music blockbuster at this point.
So. Yeah, dude, this would have made a pretty good like silly sitcom. But anyway, so
go ahead.
I'm leaving the next day. I'm bringing the guitar back. On my receipt, it doesn't say like I got the ukulele for free exactly. Like it just said like whatever. And I was bringing it back to people and they didn't know what was going on. It wasn't the same guy. So I'm just like, I'm here to return this guitar. And I bought like I bought a bunch of stuff. I bought a strap. I bought like so it was a full receipt, but I'm just returning the guitar. So they don't really look at the receipt very much at all. They don't observe that I got the free ukulele special, and I didn't bring it up because I wanted them to bring it up. So they give me my money back for the guitar, and in the car, I have a new ukulele, and that's it right there. This guitar, recent acquisition. This is actually not the most recent acquisition, which is funny. So I went to Guitar Center recently, and I'm like, yo, I'm in the market for an 8-string. I don't know. I'm listening to Goji. I don't know what I'm listening to, but I want to play some chunkier stuff.
With sugar.
So I'm like, I'm playing this Schecter, dude. 8-string. It's like $1,400. I'm like, dude, and it's pink. I'm like, I'm not paying $1,400 for this. It's just too much.
That sounds sexy.
It played great, and it was it wasn't a Schecter. It was a Strandberg.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you know this, Brian, but me and Isaac, when we play live, we pretty much exclusively use headless guitars.
Yeah.
This thing's headless, beautiful, plays like a dream. Not the color scheme I would want. I was just looking for deal breakers. So I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really good at ignoring red flags with women, but I can pick them out on a guitar. Guitars don't have boobs, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I'm about to leave, and I'm like, yeah, that guitar's really nice, but at $1,400, it's just too much, like for me, for what that is. He's like, oh, we just got this in, and this is like an RG8 Ibanez, and it was like $200 with that hard case right over there, and I'm like, well, I guess I need to buy this now.
Pretty good fucking.
Yeah,
deal.
I was like, that's a steal. Like and as you can see, I like to steal. Anyway, so next one is this guitar, which is pretty funny. I just got this one from Alex Price. I just told you that. Pretty good. I remember I told Alex, I'm like, if the harmonics are good, I'll buy it. And then I hit the harmonic. I'll let you hear for yourself. Let's hit them right now. It's my pick. Where's my pick?
Dude, little side venture,
Right
by
here.
the way.
Here, I'll play into Gideon's thing right here. I was like, let me see how this sounds right here. I was like, all right, I'll take it.
I was going to ask real quick, have you guys used any of those guitars for a Protagon at all, or is this?
Yeah, this one shows up a lot.
Yeah.
Haven't used this on a recording, have we?
No.
Nor that. I just turned. Yeah, so then we'll move on. This is the first guitar I ever bought with my own money. It's got like Pearly Gate, Seymour Duncan pickups, and all black hardware. Pretty neat, pretty cool thing. Metal, whatever. I don't have too much backstory with it. It's just a sick guitar. That one I just traded. So we had to get rid of the bass that we were using. I want you to play that. I want you to let me know what you think of that damn thing, because that thing's sick, dude. I just traded a micro Korg for that on Facebook Marketplace. Not a fan of Mark Zuckerberg, but I do like Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is pretty good.
Craigslist just ain't what it once was.
It's a little bit more difficult to find whistles on Facebook.
I believe it. You probably got to open your radius to 300 miles. But yeah, that's the lore on these. And then the ones that are not on the wall right now are the ones that are actually used. These are practically decorations.
Except that one. That was used.
Yeah, I use this one
EP.
pretty often. Yeah,
For the EP.
it's true.
All right. And first off, it's good to see the music scene is doing well out there in Eastern PA there too. I have interviewed a good number of bands, a couple of bands, I should say. And the one is Stillcraft. That's the first one that comes to mind. And Nameless Hates. I want to make sure I don't forget about those boys too.
Oh yeah, Nameless Hate's great.
I'll try to interview afterwards. Yeah. They got funny memes, we should say.
Yeah, funny
Their
memes.
Instagram's pretty great.
Is it? I say mostly on Facebook there too. I guess it's interconnected, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. So, all right. So
Yeah, people used federated social media. I'd be bragging about Mastodon, but no one uses it, so gotta succumb to these other things. Anyway, I won't bore you with that.
that's
Nobody
fine.
wants to hear me rant about that
Yeah.
without a beer in their hand and a beer in mine.
Or beer in his hand or anything like that. So
True.
everyone gets a beer. So
Yeah.
drinks
everyone
all
gets-
around. I love weddings. So all right.
Crashing weddings.
Actually, I did want to talk about your song "Encumbered by the Toil," so we can get that little review in right now.
Oh.
So
Very well.
I guess first off, I do want to talk about your little EP, The Gathering Storm. So for The Gathering Storm, it kind of struck me a little bit. I don't know how much in terms of like the heavier death metal you guys listen to, but it reminded me of Opeth's Damnation album. So you basically had 2 albums. You had Deliverance, which was like more standard progressive death metal, and then Damnation was like a lot softer, that sort of stuff. So that's kind of what The Gathering Storm was to me. And honestly, I thought the little chit chat that happened at the end there with Weak Like in a Nightmare, it was I thought that was by accident too. So I was like, oh man, we let the mic on by accident or something.
No, it's there intentionally. It's actually a clip from a podcast episode with him. But yeah, man, I loved comparing The Gathering Storm to Opeth. It's I remember me and Isaac actually just went and we were on a little road trip the other day listening to a bunch of Opeth music, and it was just like, oh, what's your favorite song? And like, what's your favorite Opeth song right now?
Dude, it's probably Ghost of Perdition.
Yeah, for me, it's Era. I fucking love that song so much, dude. Especially the music video. I'm a sucker for music videos. Patient. Be patient. We're gonna be putting some out. I don't know. I guess growing up in the 90s with like MTV, I just like I'm a sucker for that stuff. So it's cool. Like in this current era, oh, dude, the pun is real, bro. I just did that unintentionally, bro. But yeah, man, this era is gonna bring in a lot of more creative things as I kind of free up my time. I'm like looking to reallocate a lot of my energy and time. I'll come to the fall. I'm actually I run like a production company and like a pay-per-view website right now, and that's kind of what is going to open us up for the availability to kind of put out more music and more art.
Shout out Combatch.
True, combatch.live. Check it out.
Represent. All right. So I was like, there's definitely a good album there too, but I think when I read it on the Bandcamp and everything there too, I realized, oh, this is a powerful album because he's dedicating it to someone's memory. So
yeah,
all right.
Sure.
So I respect. We'll give you the horns up there, buddy. Hey.
But yeah,
the other one,
the toil, right?
Yeah, covered by the toil. So yeah,
this definitely is more of our newer sound. Yeah,
100%.
This is kind of the direction that we're going with the band more musically.
Yeah. And then another thing with Encumbered by the Toil is like, it's not a perfect representation of like, oh, this is exactly what Protagon sounds like, blah, 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 but it is exactly a perfect representation. That's why we're putting it out. I remember arguing with these guys so much, like, what's going to be the single? It's like Dust You Shall Return, which we have a bunch of live video footage of, but it's like, I want something more for that song. And this one I wrote recently, and I'm like, guys, it's got the soft of The Gathering Storm with the heavier stuff that we've been writing lately, because we've been playing with a lot of thrash bands like Throttle and a lot of these other heavy bands. Like, who do we just play with the other day? Assayer, Malphus, and Wandering Oak. It was just like super heavy stuff. But we're getting invited to open for a lot of these heavier bands a lot lately, and it's just like, you know, we have to write music for that, and it's honestly fun to write that stuff. But this song is just like the perfect representation of like gluing all of that stuff together. That's why I was like, this is it. This is the song that like is gonna be the trendsetter of like what's to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Transcending to say the least. So yeah. I would say it did remind me after we got past like a little bit of the Irish whistle kind of going on there by Gideon and all that sort of stuff there too. First of all, I would say it was like a Lord of the Rings, I guess whatever they do with the Hobbits or anything there too.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, it is
taking you in the middle.
It is a whimsical quest. Yeah. Everyone keeps telling me, like, oh, dude, I feel like I'm about to fight some Mordecai listening to this, dude.
Go to Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Must throw ring.
Yeah.
So, but I would say when it definitely got to the heavier section, it kind of reminded me of how Killswitch Engage and some of those emo, maybe to the point of like deathcore, even that sort of stuff.
Deathcore.
I'll take it, man. I like emo stuff too. I'm not a picky guy. If it's got a guitar, I can usually dig it. Except for like country music, sometimes it's just not it.
I mean,
Brad
chicken
Paisley
picking
rips,
is shit,
though.
bro.
Yo,
Chicken picking,
dude.
is the
That's
shit.
what I'm saying. It's got to be good guitar work. Brad Paisley, that Mr. Policeman, that shit's. I can't do that.
Anyways,
I can't do that. It's pretty good.
I guess the reason I said deathcore is because it seemed like the breakdown section there too. Normally, when it starts to repeat, that's when I think of deathcore because there was always a repetitive parts when it came to breakdowns or anything like that. So, or even like a whole bunch of what you heard with like the Christian deathcore sort of groups there too, like Impending Doom, that sort of stuff. So I would say.
Can I ask you, Brian, what was your favorite part of the song?
When I was, let's see, because it was obviously a nice little soft section right there. I'd say definitely, let's see, to make sure I remember the lyrics. I think it was, he starts off whispering the whole thing with collapse and everything there too.
Oh, yeah.
He kept trying to like build it up. Actually, I thought that's what you're going to do. Then it was like just letting it all out right there too. Almost like how new metal or even like metal deal like that'll deal.
Yeah. So that section is actually I'm doing the defender attack, and then Gideon is saying,
prepare for collapse.
Yeah. So it's like this like kind of ping pong thing that we're passing back and forth, which is actually fun live too. And there's one thing I don't know if you've seen it in the clips that we've been putting on Instagram, but there's actually a Zippo lighter sound there because if right before the breakdown hits the part that you're describing, the line that I'm screaming into the mic is all they had to do was pay us enough to live, which is it's paying homage to the dude that lit the
toilet paper factory on fire.
Yeah.
It was we were having band practice, and it was Brad just got back for that day. He was like, oh man, guys, this just 2 days ago, they laid me off from my job, and we were playing. Actually, we were doing Dust at the time, and it just came out of me. Like I was like, oh, all they had to do was pay us enough to live, and it was like, that definitely has to be on the song. Yeah.
I keep thinking of like we're
advocating for arson.
I hope we don't go that far. I was hoping we don't go that far, to be honest. So,
hypothetically, in Minecraft,
or in my mind, that'll deal, which is probably even worse in that case. So, actually, I was thinking more of like Chelsea Grizz, like strung out too. I think it was like Alex Kohler at the time. He's like, here we go. Oh God, why can't they leave my fucking mind or something like that?
Yeah, dude.
So that's kind of what I was thinking of there too. Like how you guys were crescendoing up to the big breakdown and everything. So.
Yeah, and I'll say this about the band, man. Like everyone in the band really understands dynamics, and that's like a huge thing that I like press onto them if they're not acknowledging. Like, yo, we need to make sure this breathes. Like this, anything we write needs to be written and performed such that the goal is to perform it well live for a live audience.
I actually kind of wonder, if the years that Brad and I were playing together as Blight of the Bards, or even before that, like if that's really helped that dynamics a lot, just because, the whistle, it's not going to ever be super, like forward instrument. Like you're playing into a mic. Like I can't compete with the volume that these guys have. So that's where it's like, let's give space for the whistle to come in and have some like quieter, like softer vibes. And then we have some like get heavy, for other parts. Yeah. I just wonder if that's if that has helped build that sound over the years.
Yeah, I think so. I think like the main thing for me was my lessons with Ethan, but like jamming in general, like being able to jam.
This is Ethan McKenna. I don't know if you
Black Crown Initiate.
Black Crown Initiate, yeah.
So he was like my original guitar teacher that like, I don't know, the only guitar teacher I actually like legitimately like studied under and like was like, please sensei, teach me. But yeah, he's the GOAT as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, he definitely taught me everything about like that piece of it. If I didn't learn it on my own, doing jamming and just kind of like paying attention to what sounds good live.
I guess for any future material, and I guess maybe this could tie in with like the plans for this year and going into 2027. Do you think your newer material might even infuse maybe some In Flames sort of thing? Like music?
I fucking love In Flames, bro. So I think like you listen to In Flames?
I don't.
No, dude, super like just classic quintessential metalcore.
Yeah.
It's just solid. So if you listen to a lot of the stuff, like me and Isaac do a lot of like hand the lead back and forth or harmonize. I love the melodic guitar playing of In Flames. They're like peak, honestly, metalcore. If in terms of like guitar melody, I would put them at the top personally. And I will fight on that hill.
I was gonna say you definitely have like the clean vocals right there. Then you also have the harsh growling kind of going on there too. So probably be an idea, but I'll leave it up to you guys.
Nice, man.
All right.
That's a great.
For your song, Encumbered by the Toil, they'll give you 2 horns up and everything. So.
Yeah.
Approved.
Oh yeah.
Approved.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. But I guess the studio here, I guess all the music that you guys have released so far on streaming platforms and everything, is this the studio where it all happens?
Yeah, great question. So the EP took place. Actually, Isaac's not even on the fucking EP.
I'm not on.
What a bum, bro.
EP, dog.
This fucking guy. Neither of these guys is. In fact, no one in the band except me is on. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Currently.
Yeah. Yep.
Currently.
There's more jujitsu guys that we both know
Which is hilarious.
than the musicians on the album.
Anyway, but yeah, so that was all done in Reading at a studio that no longer exists, which is really sad because Jafet Schrafer is he's very good at what he does. But yeah, the EP was done there, Pagoda City Records, rest in peace. But this most recent Encumbered by the Toil song, I want to give, honestly, most of the credit to Isaac because he's in school learning music right now, and he's just on the cutting edge and has a really sick laptop as well. It's like beefy. What is it, M4?
M2.
M2? They're student.
M4.
Honestly, they're good, man. I'm not an Apple fan. Like, I'm a nerd, right? But dude, I'm not an Apple fan. Apple Silicon, respect, dude. It's pretty badass what they're doing. And yeah, he's just what are you running, Logic?
Yeah, I was running Logic the entire time.
Yeah, I run in Reaper, which I know a lot of people in the comments are going to love that. And yeah, you know, I just I do some of the tracking here, and then like we do the finer tuning in his DAW, and then we actually sent that out to Black Crown Initiates Nick Shaw, their bass player, Nick Bass. He actually did the mixing and mastering of the track, and I
think he did a great job. Yeah.
he did
Shout out.
Yeah,
shout
out. And we're going to be working with him in the future as well with our next release, which is going to be a big old collaborative project there, Brian. So keep an eye out.
Will do. All right. I guess real quick for the gear wise, I guess, what other gear do you guys use to kind of make the magic happen for Encumbered by the Toil, and I guess any future material you guys have in mind?
Yeah, great. I can start with this one, and then we can go down the line, tell about the fucking quad cortex of broke him out because he's converted. Anyway, so I used to, I think when it was Gathering Storm, I was using a Line 6 Pod HD 500X, and now I'm using the Helix LT, which I really like. And then my guitar, I'm about to go grab it actually. When you guys are answering, I'll go grab it and show the camera. But it's the Kiesel Osiris 7 string with a Nightburst pattern, which it looks just lovely in this lighting that we have here. And then that's pretty much it. And then, you know, whatever. I have an SM58 mic. Or no, wait, I have a new Sennheiser 9 something. It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically the competitor of Shure's Beta 58 Alpha, which is pretty good. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go wireless. It's a good time. I'll be right back.
So I play Michael Burke whistles. That's these ones. That's one of the key whistle players. So this is a Celtic low whistle. So it's a type of flute, Fipple flute. Play it through a SM58. I have a whole. I actually run vocal into through guitar pedals. So I have a whole series of TC Electronics guitar pedals. Basically, I've got. I don't use it often, but on some songs, distortion pedal. I've got a voicing pedal that allows me to do different voicings. Drop down. Have two flute sounds at once or something like that. Kind of like a chorus type thing.
Crazy harmonies.
crazy harmonies, yeah. And then run through basically, like delay and reverb pedals. I picked TC Electronics mainly because they all had the ability to walking through with his guitar. They all had the ability to I could go in and with a laptop, I could fine tune the way that they change the sound. And I was thinking, I'm playing whistle through or flute through something that's not really intended for this. It may be really important for me to be able to go in and tweak how the sound works. But as it happens, I haven't had to do that. So that's my gear setup.
Did you mention these all by name?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I didn't say which every name of the pedal.
I'll do it. So we got a Ditto looper in the front by TC Electronic. Are these all TC?
They're all TC, bud.
They are.
Yeah.
So we got the Hall of Fame 2.
Yeah, Hall of Fame 2, yep.
The Flash back and the Brain Waves, which looks really sick. I think that's my favorite one.
And the Brain Waves. That's the one that does the splitting to have different levels.
Yeah, if you ever hear the whistle sound like it's
more than one whistle
from some kind of seventh circle of hell, that's that. And then what do you have? The Grand Magus.
Grand Magus, yeah, that's the distortion. Yeah, so I
don't know.
I play through that, and depending on how the track is, I'll play differently. And then I have for the smaller whistles, I play Susato, I think is what the brand is. Yeah, but for all those whistle players that are going to be listening on this metal podcast.
Yeah.
And then Isaac didn't bring his guitar.
No, well, because I came from a gig that was playing percussion, man.
Oh,
but
I got the metal bongos. So yeah,
dude,
metal
bongos coming right up. But for me, I think I've definitely had the gear setup that just changes the most. Like almost every single show, something is different.
Wow.
And so like for the first couple of shows, I was using like a parts caster, Telecaster that I bought off my guitar teacher. And it had like a Charlie Christian pickup and just a regular like bridge pickup. And I was going through at that point, I was going through the Neuro DSP's Quad Cortex, and that John is powerful.
Sounds good,
and it sounds great. The distortion was great. I could get mind-bogglingly huge reverbs on there, but the Charlie Christian pickup was just buzzing uncontrollably. And so for like the first 2 shows, I dealt with it, and then I was just like, "Fuck it, I cannot do it anymore." And then I just started looking around on Facebook Marketplace, and I picked up an Ormsby Goliath 7. So it's another 7-string, which is what we use.
Gang, low B gang,
and that's been my main axe for Protagon ever since. But I've had some gear issues with the Quad Cortex. I was using a lot for a lot of like soundscape gigs and jazz gigs, and just over the 2 years I was using it was a lot of wear and tear. And so just like the internal electronics just shitted itself. It took a toll. And now it only works if I have it standing right up, which is the least ideal position to have the Quad Cortex in. So I switched from that to a HX Stomp, Line 6 HX Stomp. That's another incredibly powerful modeler, but it's just it's an older unit, so it's not as powerful as the Quad Cortex, and it's just it fits in my guitar bag. It's tiny. It's like the size of my phone. And so like I'm also very lazy, so I like to come in with just a guitar and my amp, which is just a headrush monitor, the full range, full response. And so I'll come in with that, and I have all my gear in there.
You and Brad both use the headrush, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he put me on. I used to use that Line 6, that positive grid spark.
Yeah.
I can't reach it right now. Look it up. It's like a little tiny amp. They're insane. They're insanely
fun.
powerful, but the head rush just has better IO.
Yeah.
Like you can run it in and out. So like you can go into it and then out of it directly to the
Very
monitor
easily.
and PA. And I bet you're probably like wondering, like Brian's like, well, what amps? You silly geese. We don't really play
we
with
don't
amps.
have
We usually go DI.
Yeah.
And usually that's not a problem unless the venue has shitty monitoring situation, which is most venues.
So most of what we
So
play.
yeah, we have
Most
we
venues.
stay having a rough go at it, as a matter of fact.
Which is why I use my monitor as an amp most times. Just because it's like at like 5 or halfway, it fills the room. So like,
Yeah, they're pretty
I don't
effective.
need to go much higher than halfway. But yeah, that's my live setup. And for when we recorded Encumbered, we basically, I would basically just stay in Philly for a couple days at a time, and we would go with my laptop. And we would go through this Zoom L12 mixer,
It's good interface.
and we would just hook up everything we needed. We had a lot of XLRs here. I tripped a lot, and we had another bass, not this one.
It wasn't Ibanez though. It was a borrowed
Really?
bass.
Was it? Oh wow! So
I think
we
that
had
was an SG of some sort. I don't know.
Ibanez bass. We used my guitar a lot for the tracking. We used the Kiesel, I think. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly. I think we used the Kiesel for like maybe some lead stuff, but the majority was through my Ormsby Goliath 7.
Yeah, would you pay for that? Like,
I traded it. I traded for it.
yeah. Well, I'll say this. I remember I was looking up the price on it, and the way that thing plays. If I was going to do it again, I think I would have got the Ormsby. There's few things about it I don't like, but most of the things that I don't like about my Kiesel, I love about the Ormsby.
The things he doesn't like about the Ormsby is just because he's not a man.
Damn, this fucking guy.
He's just not
You didn't even bring it, bro. You must be embarrassed to bring that thing out, man.
Again,
What the-
percussion.
He's going right for the manhood, man. He's going right for the manhood.
Welcome to the band, Brian.
But
So,
no, yeah,
Somehow we still stick together, to be honest. Somehow.
Yeah.
That's nothing but wiener jokes and shenanigans.
a lot of wiener jokes. There's a wiener joke in Encumbered by the Toil. It's just not on the final export. But
You ain't got the balls, that whole deal. So,
dude, we replaced the kicks with ball samples. What was it? No, we used, I think, which mic did we use? We used that
Yeah, it's like an Audio Technica something.
Audio Technica Cardioid.
Yeah, like AT something.
It's
40.
such a nice mic. How much did you pay for that thing?
Less than $100.
It like
It's a run of the mill mic, but it's like I think like knowing how to use it and knowing how to throw it in the right EQ is great. Like
Yeah.
I think like it would be nice if we had like an SM7B, sure, but like
well,
I'm not trying to spend that much. And honestly, like we got really good. Like I wanted to find any excuse to like, dude, we got to go in the studio, but for the vocals, blah blah blah. And then we started doing it. I'm like, I look at Isaac. I'm like, dude, I fucking love the way I sound on this. Actually,
dude, it was, especially with that mic.
yeah.
Like the high end was just nice and crispy, which is for me the biggest thing for mics when we were going through and testing them. Because a lot of the times with the other mics, I just have to like go in and EQ the ever living dog shit about for the highs, and it was just like the Audio Technica was just like it just had a lot of nice high end. So I boosted like 2 or 3 dB, and it sounded pretty radio adjacent already through there.
Radio adjacent.
Radio adjacent, dog. I'm listening to
Whoa.
Ariana Grande's
Radio
highs,
S.
bro. But then we used Gideon's setup for our tracking too.
Yeah.
Which he went. Did you go through this mic?
Typically through the SM58. I think on the highest whistles we've maybe played around with the other mic, but
Yeah. That makes sense. A lot of the tracking was with the Audio Technica. And then we went through
Even the guitar.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, we did.
Yeah, that
It
was
wasn't
fun.
with this acoustic guitar. The intro or the soft section We used a 7-string acoustic guitar.
All right, I'll get it if you insist.
7-string
God.
acoustic.
Give him a second, by the way.
You've never seen one.
But we used a 7-string acoustic guitar, and he's in my way. And it was such a crazy moment. It was like maybe 2 a.m. like the first day of tracking, and he was just like, dude, I just don't like how this sounds, because originally it was like a little demo project, and he used like, you know, those tones where he was going straight into the mixer, and so it was like a clean tone, but you know, it kind of crunched up when he played hard. And I'm like, dude, why don't we just do the same thing we did for the Gathering Storm?
Mic it.
Just mic the acoustic guitar. You know, let's not change the wheel, bro. And so we did it, and we double tracked the acoustic guitar. And it just sounded great. Again, thanks to the Audio Technica. Please sponsor us if they see us.
Yeah, you guys are really.
I'm loving it.
Audio Technica.
Oh, look at that! Look at that thing. You gotta go to the mic.
Brian.
Gotta go to the mic. To the mic. What am I talking about?
There we go to
camera.
the camera.
Yeah. But we used that. We recorded the intro with that guitar.
True.
Really late at night, and it was a thing of like kind of like a Hail Mary. Like, let's just do it to do it. And if it doesn't work out, we can find another way tomorrow. And so we did it, and it just sounded
Fire.
great. And you know, it was like Logic stock plugins too for a lot of it.
EQ and stuff.
The EQ, but I have, you know, I'm a broke college kid. I'm not gonna pay hundreds of dollars for these plugins, dog. We're gonna do it in house.
Yo, speaking of plugins that Isaac recommended me that I've been fucking around with lately, that I've been using in tracking some of our other stuff, that neural amp modeler.
Oh yeah,
open source GitHub. And like, oh my god, dude, that thing is so good.
powerful,
Dude, it's free. Everyone's just putting their own stuff out there. It's awesome.
Yeah, which is not what we used for Encumbered by the Toil. We actually went through. It was only the plug-in chain for the electric guitars was
The first circle of hell, we probably should say at this point, or something.
You said what?
No, I was just joking. I was just saying, like, you probably went through like the 7 circles of hell just to like probably get to this point or something like that.
It kind of felt like it. It kind of felt like we went through a lot of bullshit to get to this guitar tone. We went through Neural DSP's Gojira plugin. But then I took off the cab. I'm not a big fan of the cab IRs there. We went through GGD's Zilla cabs. And I think we went on some setting. I chose some setting, and it just sounded fucking monstrous.
Yeah, John was dirty.
And you know, that was pretty fucking disgusting, some of the stuff, because he tracked almost all of the guitar on the song. So it was just me fucking around with the settings while he was playing, and then just like having to like snap at him to pay attention, and then click record.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm kind of a lost puppy sometimes.
But yeah. And then for the bass, dude, there's a sick free plugin, again, broke college kid, called the Growler. That shit was disgusting, because originally it was going to be the Logic stock. That's going to fall. There's a trash can.
Dang.
Anyways,
Good eye though. Thank you.
The Logic stock bass amps, I actually kind of do love them. Especially for like,
I was surprised because we have like an orange amp here, and I was like, oh, why don't you DI out of that back into the DAW, into the thing? And then he's like, no, I'm just going direct in. I'm like, all right, but I think the bass sounded great. Yeah.
He trusted me, dog.
Yeah.
And then, but for the
Never lets me
distorted
down.
bass was just straight up the Growler, and that shit sounded monstrous. Like, and I just tweaked it a little bit just to sit right with the guitars. For when we did our demo project, and I think Nick, I don't know what Nick ran for some of the stuff, because I sent him DIs of all the stuff as well as the printed tracks. But yeah, I was really happy with the bass tone, just the Growler, and then that Ibanez Geo, not this one, but another one.
That's pretty cool. So, needless to say, we got like a whole weapons arsenal. It's almost like
Yeah.
I know. Brad talked about guns earlier, so it's almost like forget the guns. You got all the guitars and everything down there. So,
Music is our weapon, brother.
Yeah.
or like a Dexter's Laboratory before you know
Yo,
it. That
don't
idea.
get me started with Dexter's Lab, bro. I'll pull out the hacking tools.
Yeah.
This podcast will be 3 times as long as you want it to be.
Well, I got a feeling it might tie in with one of the fun questions, but actually, do you guys have time for some fun questions?
Dude, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Shoot your shot, baby.
All right. So I guess the first part, it was actually part of the questions I sent over to you, but I guess, do you guys use any AI for like anything with the artwork or music wise?
No. Yo, so I'll be transparent about that. In the very beginning, like when AI art just started and it was kind of mid, and you had to like prompt it 100 times to like get a thing. I did like, you can, and I never even pulled these posts down. You can look at our Instagram all the way at the bottom. I was like, oh, check it out. I'd like typed in the name of the song and like, this is the artwork that I got out of it. And then it became this bastardized demonic force of the elites and started ripping, off music and fucking over every kind of artist and everything like that. And we've pretty much been pretty heavily against it ever since, Brian. And so is like pretty much the whole scene around us, which is great. I mean, I'm with that. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of those things where it's like in the beginning, it was like, oh, yeah, I'm playing with this tool. I'm like exploring with it. And I wanted to
Seems fun,
create some content. I hate to call anything that I make content too. Anything that I create is art, right? But yeah, the stuff that in the beginning, I was definitely fucking around with it. We definitely have like some posters that we had in the earlier days where like AI was used to make the show flyer. Yeah. And I feel like there's no like any band that was performing like in the beginning, I would love to like hear that your band name never ended up on an AI flyer. Like but these days, of course, like it's way more taboo, and we stand with that idea. And as far as AI touching the music, AI will never ever touch Protagon's music and in any official capacity. I've had someone like remix one of my songs and then send it to me, and I'm like, dude, don't ever do that again, please.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I actually like, I'm kind of offended that you fucking put my shit in a fucking machine like that.
It was
bro.
trash, by the way.
Yeah.
It was a trash ass mix.
Yeah, bro.
Pull out a Sopranos mobile, be like, get out of here, you dumb son of a bitch! I'll kill you.
Dude, exactly, bro. Yeah. I was like, delete my number, bro. But yeah, man. As far as AI is concerned with artwork, leave it to the corporate people to make their fucking PowerPoints and shit, man. It's not going anywhere. Like, unless we burn it all to the ground. But that's not going to happen either.
Hypothetically,
allegedly in Minecraft, and
metaphorically.
True.
Yeah, metaphorically.
But yeah, man. I mean, just that's kind of one of the reasons we kind of lean into like being a live performing band. I think that piece is going to be like one of the last things AI can automate. But you know what I mean? We're not going to have robots on stage that people actually want to see in dive bars for a long time, I hope.
Dude, that's like half of the whole point of Five Nights at Freddy's, though. Actually, no, they were animatronics.
Static X.
Damn.
Static X.
What about Chuck E. Cheese, bro?
Chuck E. Cheese? Fuck Chuck E. Cheese.
The original.
I can relate to that because I hated Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, so there you go. It's like one of those things where you're like dying to go, and it's like, oh, I hate this place now. I was just staying in the ball pit the whole time. So
yeah.
Now.
Right.
Skee ball was cool. Skee ball was cool.
Skee ball, yeah. I guess can't argue with that.
All right, listen, kids. Okay, don't tell anyone where you heard this from. But if you rip your tickets in half and feed them into the ticket reader at Chuck E. Cheese, you can make those tickets worth a lot more than one a piece. Okay? Brian, what was your question?
I was getting ready to move to the next one, but it's a nice little tip we can say right there. From Brad the Bard.
Yeah,
dude.
The proto tip.
Yeah.
Actually, next fun question was in terms of favorite food, I guess, is there a particular favorite dish you guys have in mind?
Damn, is there a Protagon food?
I don't know if there's probably.
Maybe
it's,
there is. Come on.
It would be. It'd be
Chimmy.
Chimmy.
Yeah, you know what? Let's say it's that. Let's say it's Casa del Chimmy in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
that's the Protagon meal.
Late night
After band practice. It's a really sick Dominican spot. Really affordable, really high quality, great quality and quantity somehow at the same time.
I'm hands down Mexican food guy. Like tacos, taquerillas. That's kind of my thing. Coming from New Mexico, it's like going home a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a Puerto Rican food guy, like just straight through and through. That's my favorite shit. And a lot of the Dominican food at Casa del Jimmy is just pretty adjacent. So
yeah,
I fucks with it.
Yeah, arroz y habichuela, bro. You can't go wrong.
I don't know about Austin. Like,
Austin is.
Dog, he hates that place.
Yeah. Austin likes saltines, bread, and water.
Maybe canned beans.
Pizza guy, maybe. I don't know.
No, Austin likes pizza for sure.
Yeah, burgers and pizza.
Austin, pizza. He's an American.
Just a bar guy.
American cuisine.
Yeah, for sure.
Austin, Preston, he likes crepes and shit.
Yeah, bro. He's French. Preston's French.
Croissants.
He likes croissants.
A lot of bread.
Escargot.
Hey, I like croissants.
Yep, I'm not saying there's anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm just listing all the good foods that everyone likes, bro.
He's just a French.
Just because we got all the Hispanics on one couch, we got to mention the other guys.
Sorbet
and burgers for the other two. That's all I'm saying.
All right, fair enough. So great choices. Allegedly, or something like that.
Allegedly.
You didn't hear from me. So,
I'll let them comment on the video and be like, nah, dude. I like sub sandwiches. Cheesesteaks.
I think that's odd between two pieces of bread in that case. We should probably just say that.
True.
So, all right, great choices there.
Sandwich alignment chart, man.
True.
Sandwich alignment chart. It was making it sound like it's like a food pyramid in a way. We just have to turn
Brian, let me ask you this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, fuck. We're here now.
Here we go.
Is a hot dog a sandwich, Brian?
No.
No?
Yeah.
No. Hot dog is a hot dog. I'm just going to say it that way.
I hope you don't lose any. I hope you don't lose any subscribers on that opinion.
I think I'd probably lose subscribers if I was saying ranch is better than blue cheese.
Ooh.
So, but I like either or, so I don't discriminate. Let's just say it that way. Yeah. I guess in terms of movies and TV shows, since we mentioned Dexter's Laboratory, I guess do you guys got favorites between both a TV show and a movie?
Oh, bro, what's the?
That's like influences the band or something like that.
Just your personal.
Just in general, really.
We'll start, Isaac. I'll rope it into the band somehow.
The band one, it was the Irish dudes,
Oh, Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints, yeah, that was pretty good, right? Yeah, he and I were watching that in lead up to Blight of the Bards time.
Yeah, good times.
I'm not typically big into TV or movies too much.
There was a time, but same lately. I'd just rather be the main character. Protagon. # be a protagonist.
There's a few that like older movies that I really enjoy, but
the classics. Yeah. You know what's a great movie about music? That Sound City documentary. Okay. The Dave Grohl Sound City. Do you know that one?
I don't know that one. Actually, I thought you were going to say Whiplash at first, to be honest.
Me too. Me too.
So
dog, bro. I fucking hate that movie.
I love that movie, bro. I got a story on that one. So I remember there was this girl like I was seeing at one time. And I was playing. This was like during my Isaac arc where I was just like being abused, but by my own brain, not my parents, and forced to like just practice like a ridiculous amount of time a day because I wanted to be a virtuoso guitarist at the time. And I'm just drilling, and I'm like, the girl's like, hit me up like, oh, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm playing guitar. She's like, you're always playing guitar. I'm like, I'm not good enough yet. That's why. And she's like, you know what? Tonight, let's watch this movie, Whiplash. And I think she had the idea that Whiplash was going to make me feel different about putting so much time and energy in. And by the end of the movie, she's like, so what'd you think? I'm like, that was a great movie. That's super based. This guy. Yeah, dude needs to practice more. He's so close to being the best. It's awesome. I can't wait till I'm that good. And then she was like, oh my God.
You know, the canon ending for the drummer is that he dies in like 5 years after because of an overdose.
Well, that's oops.
That's an oops for him, dog.
Yeah, he probably pleads whoopsie daisies on that one.
Dude.
Probably the movies for me would be like Fiddler on the Roof or, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Yeah,
Bro.
Some ancient shit.
Yeah,
some
true.
ancient texts.
Both music adjacent and definitely not within genre for this group.
Yeah. For me, it was just like I grew up with a lot of comic books, so my favorite TV show was Teen Titans 2004.
Yo,
That shit
let's go,
bangs, bro.
Dude, you don't know this, but I played that on my guitar and I recorded that through the shitty mic on my phone, my flip phone. That was my text ringtone forever, bro. I was like, oh shit, Robin needs my help, dude. BRB, I'll be right back, dude. Oh, Raven's hitting me up again. Here we go.
Cyborg. That old deal. So
Bro, Brad is the type
Silly
of person
geese
to
to
be
the
in a
max.
chokehold by Raven, bro. Put in a
Damn,
chokehold,
bro. She's about to hit me with that Zinthos.
too. And you'd have to deal with
no,
her.
you're gonna get double rock from Terra going on right there too.
Oh, dude, true, bro. Tara had no nose, but I'd still date her.
Bro, she was a child.
I was
Tell that
too.
to Slade.
I
Tell
was
that to
too.
Slade. They need to tell that to Slade, dog.
True.
Bro.
True.
And that episode
Child
with
abuse.
Robin, but that episode with Robin seeing Slade, dog, that's my favorite episode of the show by far. And I still remember like half that episode, just like recall it like that. That shit's I fucking love that episode. I think that definitely influenced some of this new song, Encumbered by the Toil, because like some of the shit for me, just like I was like, I could definitely see this music being played over some of the episode
In an AMV. You know what my favorite Teen Titans joint was? Red X.
Oh fuck yeah,
Dude,
that was
yeah,
sick
bro.
ass
Red
fucking
X
art.
works alone. Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god, so based, bro.
Dog.
The most based anti-hero, bro. Red X was the best.
Red X.
What about
guy-
you, Brian?
These guys definitely there's a bit of like anime influence in a lot of stuff.
I don't know if I'd call it anime,
Oh,
but
it's a cartoon, dog.
I mean, we're all
Cartoon,
Hispanic,
yeah.
so we all love Dragon Ball Z, right?
Fucking
obvious,
yes.
yeah. Brian, what about you, dude? Yeah, exactly, bro. He's throwing a Hadouken. right now. You hitting us with the Galaxy? Dude, you know about Prince of All? You know, he probably never does.
He doesn't. I'm
Yo,
sure.
so we have a song about Vegeta, Brian.
Oh,
Did
was
you
it?
know that? It's called Prince of All. And it's got a Kamehameha on the sampler. We smack it. It's the we end the show with it usually. It goes hamburger helper, dog.
That's pretty damn cool. But what were you saying about Teen Titans? Were you asking me?
Who's your favorite guy?
That's tough. So I would say I definitely liked all of them because it seemed like they did a great job of actually covering like every character. So
It was hard to hate anybody. Even the villains, I liked them all.
actually, Ron Perlman, no, he did a great job. I'd say Slade was definitely cool, especially
Slade was
since it was.
Fucking Slade. Yeah.
I mean, he went from like being this badass, super steroid-induced mercenary to be like the calm, soft-spoken villain most of the time. So,
Mm-hmm.
so
And then he helped beat Trigon somewhat.
Dragon, yeah. I don't know. I thought the last season was like Beast Boys sort of rise to fame or something. I'm not sure.
For sure.
I can't say
Beast
I love or hate
Boy
anybody,
was the
so-
ladies' man.
so.
Dude, Beast Boy would sling some shit around here, bro. That's all I'm saying.
True,
Put
bro.
Beast Boy in Philly, he going.
Bro, he goes to an emo night.
Uh-oh.
Fucking emo EDM meetup in Philly, bro. Rap.
I don't know. So I can't necessarily say like, hey, love or hate anybody. I'd say everyone definitely did a nice job there too, even through the episodes that were pretty funny too. So
Yeah.
old school Teen Titans all the way. Not this new shit they got going
Yeah,
on.
yeah, go
Nice.
is whack.
Yeah.
Go is whack.
True.
All right. All great choices. And for lots of fun questions, who you guys been listening to recently for music wise, whether they're independent or mainstream?
sick question. I'll start. I'll go in indie and then a bigger one, right? So independent, a friend of mine just put out a lot of music recently in a band called Modern Monk. My friend Dylan, incredible musician, one of the best musicians I've met since I moved to Philly. And I just, I love his stuff. There's a ton of really awesome local acts too. Like my friend Zach just did a debut show and stuff like that. There's tons of amazing local talent that is making like some really cool indie rock music in Philadelphia, I will say. But lately, like what I've been listening to, I've actually been listening to some weirder stuff, like compared to like if you would ask me like 6 months ago what it was, way different now. So like I've been getting into this band Scandroid. I don't even know if it's a band. It's like kind of like industrial, like EDM meets metal. So like there's another band called like The Algorithm that's like, dude, it's just it's so fun to drive and listen to that shit. So I just been into that. Even like I threw on like a little bit of Tiesto the other day, and I'm not normally like an EDM guy, but like I am enjoying that stuff lately a lot. And again, it's kind of like I'm kind of studying the genre almost. It's like seeing like, why is this good? And then how can I adapt that to be like how can I adapt those elements to work with my band?
So I listen to a pretty wide variety of different things within like influencing this project. There's a couple Russian bands that are pretty heavy.
Gideon's been on some real obscure shit.
Yeah, it's the one band is I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Grai, so Grai. That's they're a folk metal band that has like flute in it. And there's another band called Arcona. There's a band called Fin Troll that I've been listening to. Yeah, they've like if you're ADHD but like metal music, this is like it's probably like very much like almost you could almost use it as a test if you're ADHD. Like the people that I've played this for, like like neurospicy type people are like, whoa, cool, it's just really all over the place. And then some other bands lately, Batushka, and I don't know what else.
Yo, shout out to another Russian artist that I really like. That's David Maximichik from Destiny Potato, all that. Dude.
Is he Russian?
Siberian.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
oh fuck.
I say that all that and like got to keep it separated from Russia versus Ukraine. Like the Russian people, the music they've made. That's really I'm appreciating that.
Yeah, man. I'm sure all of those.
Like the Russian people, the government sucks. So
exactly, I'm sure they would agree. Like, dude, we don't like these this drone warfare kind of ass, bro. Not a fan.
Scary. Yeah, I guess for me, the stuff I've been listening to, maybe even for like just like the past year, I've strayed away almost completely from metal, which. In high school, like I said earlier, Chiodos, Killswitch Engage, Chelsea Grin, Whitechapel, a little Slipknot, Periphery, my
Slipknot
guys, Periphery, Animals as Leaders. I was very into metal in high school, and then I went to school for jazz, so I was like, indoctrinated in that, Grant Green, George Benson, Wes Montgomery, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, all of them. And then in the past year, I've just been a straight salsa guy.
Salsero,
puro Latin, all Latin. And like my kings are like Roberto Roena's Apollo Sound, Cheo Feliciano, Eddie Palmieri, all these guys. Who else? Tommy Olivencia and that album with Chamaco Ramirez, like just straight killing ass shit. And Brad's about to say some shit. I know he is. I know he is. That's literally all I've been listening to for the past year.
You just say like itching the mic closer.
You see him, dog.
I was just gonna go. Y peso pluma.
Dog, I'm telling you, you look at my Apple Music, it's fucked up. Like now I'm getting more back to being diverse, but it was a lot of salsa, but now it's like salsa Bad Bunny as fuck because I listen to that shit religiously with my girlfriend. Oh, I love Bad Bunny.
Of course.
I love Bad Bunny. Raul Alejandro, Karol G, we love. The Lonely Island, fucking straight out of left field. The Lonely Island, Andy Samberg's comedy band. Dude,
Yeah,
that's fucking. They have some funny ass shit.
it's good. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty good.
They're
That's from my childhood like era.
dude. What was it called? Popstar was the movie or Superstar?
Yeah,
It was like, dog. That was a funny ass movie.
Yeah.
I saw that when I was way too young though.
yeah.
So, anyways, and definitely like Periphery. Again, I'm gonna say Periphery like a fucking 1,000 times. Dude,
I was more of a like alt metal or alt rock, new metal kind of guy.
he fits the part. Look at him. That motherfucker is all rock.
Yeah, that's where I was years ago.
Yeah, a lot of the covers me and Gideon used to do back in the day were that kind of like genre category. Like we would do like a ton of like 90s like metal or like hard rock or like even pop stuff. But you needed to do that if you're going to play a bar gig. You know what I mean? We'd play covers and originals. Even as Protagon now, like we'll pepper covers in
Every once in a while, yeah, just
occasionally.
yeah.
To my
Isaac-
dismay.
Isaac hates it.
To my
Even
dismay.
bangers. He's like, I don't like that we're doing this.
They said it for a reason, not us.
True.
I guess so, but nonetheless, all great choices from everybody there too. So, boys, we are down to over question our podcast. We're actually almost out of time, but I guess before we jump into it, would you guys like to ask me one question apiece real quick before we jump into the final one?
Yeah, man. So, like, how long has this podcast been going on, Brian? You ever do any in person stuff? I used to like do exclusively in person podcasts.
Well, I don't have a magic buzz, which is probably something I should probably work on next. I was going to say that too, and I meant to bring it up sooner rather than later here too. But nonetheless, it's been going 5 years. So we started 2021 February. So still going strong, and it's mostly been Skype, we should say. It used to be Skype, not StreamYard. So it was a little bit harder back then trying to do it for Skype, but we still made it work nonetheless. So
This kind of format lets you talk to people all over the world. I watched your interview. I can't remember. Gaz, I think it was a woman in Australia.
the Just Show.
Yeah, Jazz Show. Yeah. So it seems like you get to really, this is kind of cool. You get to talk to people all over the place. Watched that one, watched another one. The guy from Florida who was asking about tea-berry ice cream. Yeah, that slaps. Tea-berry ice cream, local to this area. Yeah. Especially if you're somebody who likes mint chocolate chip ice cream. This is like a minty flavor. Yeah. It's good. It's worth trying. Pretty much only ever see it at like local tiny ice cream shops, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool that you get to talk to people all over like that. I appreciate that.
No worries. Let's shout out Tea-Berry ice cream too. I think that was Emperor's a dog. I think that's who it was.
That's Gideon's line, dude.
No worries.
He said no worries.
Yeah, he said no worries. Yeah. And maybe it's
It's a sign.
it's no. I was going to ask you. You're a drummer, right? I think you had some drumming earlier content. I didn't see it, but do you play in a band or you play out?
I play in 2 studio bands at the moment. Used to have 3, but that one. So it's really just for fun. We just throw the music out there for everyone. Just be like a little fish show. Be like, I got you $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that. So,
True.
so
My question is,
yeah.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say, just to finish off Gideon's question, it's really just something for fun. And whatever happens from it with the streaming and everything, that's nice. So that's it. That's my answer to Gideon's question. But what were we gonna say, Isaac?
No, I was just gonna ask, what's the biggest challenge you faced, like hosting this podcast?
I'd say time, because I have the normal 9 to 5 job, and then I at least negotiated my schedule to be Friday, Saturday with a second job I have working as a sous chef at a local family joint who's been a fan of the family for a good while. So
Damn,
the
so
secondary
you're
job.
being a culinary artiste. What's your dish of choice to impress the ladies?
He said one question, motherfucker.
I want to know, dude. The lore thickens with Brian.
Actually, it's your typical bar and grill. So I have a hard time trying to do steak because it's difficult trying to get the temperature right on the inside when it comes to the steaks.
Word.
So
Yes.
I tend to like it when it's burgers, and especially when it's just strictly like one temperature, because then I'm able to crank those guys out pretty easily. So
If we ever get out your way to play a gig, where we got to go to get a
True.
burger cooked by Brian.
Where do we go for the gig?
Yeah, well, that too.
well, the gigs, I do know a band out here called Lysandra. They'll always like to cooperate with other bands. I don't know about venue wise because I don't know how that thing works. So I think it's just more of a negotiation between bands from here and then bands in
That's
your
how
neck
it
of the
goes.
woods. So, but the place I work at, it's called Blue Goose Saloon.
Blue Goose Saloon. That's where we got to go. And
Goosey.
sounds like on the weekend, right?
Goosey.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I yell
On
at
Friday and
geese.
Saturday.
That's what I yell at geese when I drive by.
He does. I've seen it.
Friday night. So,
Friday night. There we
Goosey.
go.
True.
Friday or Saturday night. So most of the time, I should say, because sometimes he has to rope me in. It's kind of unfair too. But,
Sure.
Nice.
so
And we got
to
all
answer your
this.
question, though, it is more of time management to say the least. But I try my best to get as much done as I can, both with doing drum covers, podcast interviews, and some other stuff for like a third channel that I'm doing with all the vacation and concert footage I have from everything I've been doing throughout this year.
Yeah, nice.
Wow.
Keep
Fuck
busy.
yeah. Dude, when do you sleep?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
True.
Sounds like our host is busy.
Well, I should be going to bed about 10 o'clock, to be honest, but I always find myself going to bed 11, close to midnight at times.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oreo.
So, all right. Was there anything else, or is it okay we jump into the last question?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. You answered all our questions pretty well, my man.
All right. But if there's nothing else, here's how I'll phrase the last question, and whoever wants to go first, here's how it goes. So, given the amount of negativity that you have been seeing going on in the world these days, through social media, even just the regular news media and all that sort of stuff, and maybe even word of mouth, these days people are really down, to say the least. So, in order to be a message of hope for everybody out there, what would be your message of hope for musicians and people out there so they can try to move forward with their lives?
I mean, that's the whole kind of tagline we have here at Protagon is hashtag be a protagonist, right? It's like take the lead, right? Like one of the things like I really like to push on people is like you have the ability to crack out of the matrix. You don't have to follow these rules. I'm not saying breaking the law and stuff like that unless you're pirating. That's kind of base.
It's yellow, forward.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But
Anyway.
it's you got to take control. You got to take ownership, and be responsible for the taking the initiative to make life better for yourself, your community better, and things better for the people around you that you see every day. And just trying to kind of like one of the things I am a little extra on is like kind of like decentralizing, and I love to like self-host and like do all this stuff that a lot of people cannot do. But you could totally like make a little garden and grow some fruit and stuff. So you're just 1% less reliant on the system that is super corrupt and not based.
Yeah.
That is
At all.
drawing, not bussing on God.
Not bussing. No cap.
Amen.
I think look for people and make connections with people. Yeah, doesn't have to be super deep, but just like try to connect with people. Sometimes sometimes you have a good experience talking with somebody in a, who's, working a checkout line at a grocery store, just like whatever, like have those little moments of interaction, tie into everybody's, we're all, there's a shared humanity. We're all kind of, like going through this mortal coil, together. So, look for that.
Ape together strong.
Amen. Yeah. I think for me, my last message is going to be for the musicians. For a long time, I struggled, especially post-COVID. I struggled with like seeing how one could make a full-time career out of it. And I just realized that the love for the game is always going to put you in the mentality of what can I do next and what can I do better. And that mentality of like, I need to do something better and I need to find something else to do will always just lead you to finding the right thing to do. And, a lot of times, even for me, for example, like what I thought the right thing to do 5 years ago is different than what I think the right thing to do is now. And just like letting go of the worry is going to just letting go of that worry of like, oh, I'm never going to make a career. I'm never going to have enough money. It's just going to let you find that actual path because it's just patience for me. It's just, I know I'm going to find something to do and I know what I got to do.
It's one step in front of the other.
I'll be walking.
True.
All right. And nonetheless, spoke like a bunch of true prodigies. So, all right.
Be a protagonist, man.
Or be a protagonist. Or spoke like a bunch of true protagonists in this case. Or something like that. So,
protagonist, yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, we had to at that point. I mean, like, we had to throw that pun in. So, all right. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for sharing right there. It really does mean a lot. All right. So, yeah. Brad, Gideon, and Isaac, we have each channel podcast right here. We talked a little over 2 hours. So,
shit.
First time in a while. But that's what happens when we do these band interviews too. So, all right. Just real quick, who do you guys want to give some shout outs to?
For what? Like the Earth, dude.
The Earth,
I want to give Isaac a shout. I legit think we would not have been able to put this single out with the quality and just like the expeditiousness that went into making it, like everything. Like Isaac literally came to my house at like 2 p.m. and didn't leave till like 4 a.m. some days. Like we put over 40 hours, just he and I, into the fucking song. Like the first couple weeks, like that we were like doing this, like kind of put a couple things together. Like, all right, let's focus on this one song. I think we can actually release this. Yeah. And I just want to, my man, my dog,
man, yeah. Definitely shout out to all our families. Everybody sacrifices a lot. Shout out, want to thank you for putting us on this podcast. It was cool to have this chance to talk with you and talk with the rest of the world in this medium this way. I think that's probably it for me. Yeah.
Also, the other two guys.
My stepson wanted to have a shout out. So
little G, Gianluca, my dog. The guy, dude. But yeah, the other two as well, right? Like Preston and Austin, they weren't able to make it here, but shout out to them. They without them, we wouldn't have the project as well, performing in the capacity that we have it today.
Austin usually does most of our social media stuff. Yeah. He's killing it with that. So
absolutely is.
Yeah. Definitely also glad to have Preston on board. It's
the second youngest member.
Second youngest member.
Me being the first.
Yeah, it's hard to get a 13-year-old in the bar. Let me tell you, Brian.
Dude, it's a fucking struggle. I think
they be carded. So yeah,
dude, carded all the time. Now that I got the beard, though, less.
The beard is helping it.
Nice.
Yeah. The beard is the key. See,
they think I'm 14 now. But no, for shout outs for me, besides the obvious people like my mom, girlfriend, dad, and all the people who helped me get here. Biggest shout out Nick Shaw for just being so fucking awesome at mixing. Because
Nick did a great job.
he took what we did just to the fucking next level. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's really crazy what you can do in like a fucking like this is my living room.
Post processing stuff.
Like, yeah, but this is my living room. Like a few years ago, I'd be like, "There's no way we're gonna record good music in here," but we murdered it with this single, and we've got more coming down the pipe. And definitely shout out to all the families and all that. I love. I think our family members support us more than anyone else.
It's probably true.
Yeah, typically.
At least we hope so. So
Yeah,
coming out.
at least we hope so.
Yeah, man.
A lot of time.
Brian, can you explain what's going on with this big chungus on our screen? Why'd you do that?
I did not do anything. So that's your fault there, man.
Why is it?
There's
Big
allegedly
chungus.
didn't do anything.
All right.
So it's your fault, you idiot. So
Oh fuck you, Brad. That's what he said.
Big chungus.
What's up with him?
Get
I
it.
don't know why he keeps talking about the chunkus, to be honest. I was like, I did not do anything. I'm innocent. I don't know why everyone thinks that. So, all right. But just real quick, what social media and streaming platforms are you guys on so people can check out your music and interact?
Yeah, we're everywhere, including the federated apps, even though no one uses those, like Mastodon and stuff. If we're going to break away from these elite clutches, we need to use those guys. So if I can do anyway, at protagon.music on all the things. That's also our website, protagon.music. And you can check us out on all the things. We're going to have some really sick merch coming out. And if you can ever check us out live, I promise you, if you keep an open mind, you're going to see some pretty wacky, silly shenanigans.
So hire us for your wedding.
True.
Hire us for your wedding. Yeah.
It'll be a real scream, I promise.
It'd be a loud wedding band.
Hoot and a holler.
I mean, trust me, I do about a band called Tongue of Eden. I actually did play at a wedding reception, so don't feel bad.
That's pretty metal.
Hell yeah.
That's about as metal as you could probably get for a wedding reception. I say shout out to Eric, by the way. That's the band he's a part of it too. It was actually him and one other dude. So
What's
Huge
our
props.
booking email, Brad? It is
Oh, yeah, you can book us at booking@protagon.music as well.
booking at protagon.music. So if anybody, I know you in some of the other interviews that I saw, you might have like talked about like range where we're trying to play. We've played locally, Philly area. We played into New Jersey, and we'd be interested in playing for sure, like New York City, or definitely would love to get out your way.
Yeah.
I need to have an excuse to take my wife and kids out to the western part of the state, see Pittsburgh. Definitely, I think we want to get down a little further south. There's a bit of a drive. We want to get down into the DC area sometime.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll play anywhere if the logistics make sense. Like we want to play the show. If the guys booking us can make it make sense, we'll probably pull up. I tried to get us to play in Vegas at DEF CON this year, but I guess I got to try harder
For next year.
We definitely have to try to make Ireland happen at some point.
True.
Yeah, that's got to be a thing.
PR. We got
PR, that'd be cool. Yeah.
True.
we got Gideon, we got the Irishman. We can make this happen. So okay. All right. So let me just close out like this real quick. So everyone, my guests today were Brad the Bard, Gideon, and Isaac, the part of the band Protagon, short for protagonist, but that's why they had the hashtag be a protagonist. So, all right. But the part of this band, Protagon, they're hailing from Philly right there too. So make sure you go hip on the socials, all streaming platforms. Let's go support our brothers out there so they can eventually get back to Ireland at some point. Or I guess even some other parts of the States. So, all right, boys. So thank you guys so much again for coming on here. So stay safe. Rock on. And lastly, strike a pose for the audience. Stay tuned, y'all.
Let's go. All right. Thanks.